If your business gets between 50 and 100 leads a week and you try to scale, but it just generates chaos, inefficiency, and the cost per acquisition just shoots through the roof, this one is for you. My name is Tal Kozin. I run a marketing and revenue operation agency called Lemonade Ads. We've been shortlisted for TikTok Awards and an official partner of Meta, Google, and TikTok. You see, the advertising cost goes up like inflation every year by 11% statistically, meaning that to reach the same 1,000 people costs you 11% more. And the cost per acquisition is way higher because everybody uses these paid ads tools these days. Not just that, but because of the nature of the platform, everybody uses automated bidding, which means that when your lead showed the first intent, any purchase intent, and left you as contact info in the lead form, now his feed explodes with competitor offers. And I saw it on every niche: hotels, services, defense, tech. It's always there. You have competition and they just either outbid you or call him way faster. Let's run a simulation. Let's say a user left you his contact info on Tuesday, and your sales team follows up on the previous leads, and now they're able to contact him, and it's Thursday, 2 days later. By that time, this poor user, his feed is exploding with content and offers, and maybe he even left his contact info to some other competitors because he wanted to compare and research. And they already contacted him, pitched him, and followed up multiple times. So by the time that your guys pick up the phone, he's exhausted. He's done. And Alex Hormozi says it, and it's also statistically true, that when you call a lead 5 minutes after he left his contact info, the conversion rate improves by 30%. So that's a speed problem over there. But we also have different problems. We have the scoring problem that almost nobody uses. They don't score a lead based on some characteristics. For example, we can put new fields in the lead form so that we will understand his urgency and his relevant size. For example, if I have a solar company, I want to know his roof size. If I'm an advertising company, I want to know his budget. If I'm an irrigation company, I want to know his acres. We can put those filtrations and just push out the time wasters and filter out the gold. Not just that, but with the scoring system, we also add based on the acquisition channel because, the Google organic leads are the best and the paid channels, not so much. So you can see just a little bit below on the landing page an example of a calculator of how we sum up points for a lead without human intervention. So the gold flows to the top of the CRM, and your salespeople with their morning coffee know exactly who to contact first today. And the last part is the future of advertising. All of the advertising platforms, all of them, are moving to value-based bidding. In plain English, it means that they want the data from your CRM in order to serve the next ad to a more qualified audience. So, for example, these days you give them events of clicks and leads, and that is it. But not every lead is a qualified lead. So what we were able to do is to make a unique automation called offline conversions that sends a CRM event of a qualified lead and a paying customer back to the advertising platform. So now the media buyer has a decentralized framework to make a decision every day of what ad not just gives you leads, but also gives you paying customers and maybe even revenue and ROI. We can send all of that data back to the advertising platforms and help their algorithms serve ads to people who look like your A-tier leads, the gold leads. You see, I believe that most businesses have enough budget and enough manpower and enough capabilities to make significant profit and take home salaries that are worth all of the hassle. But when I see inefficiency, it just gets on my nerves. Every audit, I see people just donating their money to Mark Zuckerberg, and honestly, he does not need it. So if you want to scale efficiently and actually without additional budget, you can scale the operation, and I would love to run an audit for you. For that, click below, book a time for us together. Let's see the operation that you currently have and see where the hole in the bucket is, because it always leaks. Always. And sometimes there are quick fixes that can save you a few thousand in ad budget that is a click away. Just tweaking something in the settings or changing an audience or removing an ad, and it saves you thousands of dollars a month. But if you are more interested to hear about what exactly we do, so this is what we are going to do. First, we want to understand how you score the leads. Maybe these days it is done manually by the sales manager who allocates leads to the salespeople, but we don't want human intervention. We want it to happen automatically. Yes, of course. We can allocate the same volume of leads to each person, and we can even give the same number of gold, silver, and bronze leads to every salesperson. No problem at all. Because we need to solve the speed problem. If you allocate it manually, we're already late. Second is speed. We are going to check how much exactly is the time to reply to a lead and to close a lead and generate a quote in your CRM, not based on what the salespeople say, but on actual timestamps, and try to shorten the duration to fast as possible. If we can, I want the lead to get a quote and a contract to sign on the phone. Third is, how do you record things? Because these salespeople have sometimes very unique insights about the objections and type of audience that convert or doesn't convert. And I want to generate an insight and give it to the marketing people, because very often they work with generic or broad messaging, and I want them to whistle-blow the exact pain point to the customer. And fourth is the CRM events. You cannot advertise in 2026, 2027, 2028 without value-based bidding. The platforms will keep giving you low-tier leads while you suffer, and your salespeople are disappointed and quit. With CRM events, we teach the algorithm how to serve ads to people who are like the A tiers, like the gold leads. And this actually improves your ad account with every next dollar that you spend. And I want to give you an example of Phytech, an irrigation tech company, who, with me, after we worked to nail the form correctly and to do the lead scoring, we were able to bring way more qualified leads from different marketing channels and to scale past the current state that they were operating in the United States to different states and also to Australia and 3 territories in South America. And also ThinkUp, an online business coaching platform who was struggling with super high cost per acquisition. So we ran immediately CRM events and gave not just the qualified lead event, but also activations, items done, and other app interactions that were interesting for us. And what we were able to do is generate more than 1,000 app activations a month while lowering the cost per acquisition. So here's the worst case for you. Worst case, you spend 30 minutes with me. You heard about the future of the advertising platforms where you can optimize your CRM. Maybe your leakage is not too bad, and of course that I will never sell you anything that you don't need, and I will set you free, and that's okay. That's the worst case. In the good scenario, you got an audit that actually has very actionable items, quick fixes that save you thousands of dollars in the coming months, that you can take action yourself with your in-house team or with your agency, maybe even without me. I'm not offended, no problem at all, and no strings attached at all. And if you are ready, then click below, book a time for us, and let's make it happen.